This initial bit's going to be really quick, so there's plenty of time for networking and discussing the future. I am Dawn Butler. I am the Member of Parliament for Brent East, and I am part of the House of Commons Speakers AI Commission, where we're looking at how AI will affect parliamentarians and what we need to do and how we can safeguard what we do, but also our democracy. This session is Fueling the Future, Next Generation of Small Businesses, AI and Labour's Growth Agenda. And we've got 5 speakers, and as I say, everyone's going to speak for about 2 minutes, and then do please network, because that's the important thing. As well as Ibrahim giving out drinks. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. And just to thank SME for Labour for all of their efforts in putting this together today. Please put a round of applause for SME Labour and Ibrahim. First up is Calista from Meta.
Thanks everyone for coming this evening. My job is to kick off and tell you a little bit about Meta. So Meta in the UK, we're really proud to call the UK our largest base outside the US. And we are employing 5,500 people, more than half in tech and engineering roles. Our major investments include the Reality Labs facility in Cambridge and the Open Source AI Fellowship with the UK government and Alan Turing Institute. So we really are, putting our money where our mouth is and trying to help make the UK a hub for global innovation. And we're doing this through 3 things that we're really proud of. We're supporting SME growth. Our platforms drive nearly 65 billion in economic activity in the UK. We are completely invested in open source AI leadership, and we're committed to this through the rollout of our Llama family of models, which over 1.2 billion people have downloaded, and we are also empowering SMEs to embrace AI. But I am aware that everyone might not know what open source AI is. So, to let you know, open source AI means that anyone can freely download, use, and build an AI model. Entrepreneurship and economic growth in every region of the UK. Number 2, open source and sovereignty. I'm sure you've all heard that word at conference this year. So, harnessing open source AI uniquely allows the UK to protect its data, reflect national priorities, and secure a homegrown layer of the tech stack. And then number 3 is empowering SMEs, because we wouldn't be sponsoring SME for Labor if we didn't care about that part of the agenda. So open source lowers the barriers to entry, enabling SMEs to compete, scale, and importantly, create high-value jobs. A couple of quick shout-outs. First off is to Guide Dogs, who we're really delighted that Guide Dogs, led by CEO Andrew Lennox, are here tonight demonstrating how Meta Ray-Bans can help empower people with visual impairments. If you've not seen them yet, they're just outside. And then secondly, we have our open sauce activation. So this is obviously a highly witty pun that I've been told maybe sounds better in a British accent. So open sauce, open source, if you haven't caught on yet. Thank you very much for the polite giggles. Basically, what we're trying to do is, what we're doing over there with all of my colleagues is we are running live on our Llama open source AI, a really fun quiz, and you can see the potential for personalization and how AI can really demonstrate and grow different, avenues and sector of businesses throughout the UK. So, in closing, keeping us to 2 minutes like Dawn promised.
3 minutes.
Oh, no. We want to surpass expectations. Meta is investing heavily in world-class open source AI. And as we pivot to superintelligence, our goal is to ensure that these breakthrough technologies benefit people everywhere, driving innovation and opportunity throughout society and throughout the UK. Thank you.
Very much. Allow you, Cassie. I used to be a programmer. I always thought that word perfect was better than word actually. And I don't know if anyone's old enough in this room to get that. But anyway, next speaker is MP John Grady.
Well, thank you very much, Dawn, and I'm glad Cassie mentioned pivoting to superintelligence, because Dawn here is one of our brightest MPs, and she's a fantastically able person, and it must have been about you and not about me. First of all, a big thank you to SME for Labour. For small businesses in Britain, a huge source of employment, growth, and a massive benefit to our communities, including, of course, in my seat in Glasgow East. And SME for Labour do massive work in making sure that the SME voice is heard in a party that is definitely pro-business. A word about AI and small businesses. Now, often when you think about technology, you think it's about big businesses. But actually, as one of the leading scholars in this field, Ethan Mollick, who's a US professor, has pointed out, this is exactly the sort of tool which is really important for small businesses, and much more small businesses. It's a micro level, but it will in particular be of the most profound impact. So I'm really delighted to see you all here, because AI is an important part of the future. We can't avoid it. It provides massive opportunities, and massive opportunities for people in Glasgow, for small businesses in Glasgow, and across our family of nations. It's something we're very focused on as politicians. I know Dawn is, I am in my role on the Treasury Select Committee, and having anything where we're talking about technology and the great opportunities it brings. And remember, as a Labour MP, I'm all about progress for our communities. I think it's something to be applauded. So this has my full support, and I'm delighted to see a big crowd here. Thank you very much.
See, I told you this bit will be quick, then you'll get to the networking. Next up, we've got Noah Law. Noah, there you go.
Thank you, Dawn, and delighted to be here. Look, I'm not going to keep you from your networking. That's very important in SME circles, of course. But I did just want to give a brief shout out to one of our wonderful new ministers, Kanishka, who is going into the Department of Science, Innovation and Technology, and is one of, I would say actually quite a few of our intake, the 2024 Labour MPs, who is unquestionably an expert in the field of AI, and has a huge amount to give to that role. I won't claim to have the same level of knowledge as Kanishka on AI, although something that we perhaps share is that prior to our time in Parliament, we were both growth investors of some sort or another. And what's key about AI is that it's really crucial to our country's growth story, and therefore something that, as a government with a growth mission, we should be keeping close tabs on. So my challenge really to my own government and to SMEs in the room is to go and recognise the potential value of AI in your own growth story and work out how to unlock that. And it's also an invitation to come and speak to me about that, because I hope to pick this up when we get back to Parliament much more. So thank you for coming today. Look forward to continuing the conversation.
Thank you, Noah. MP, where's your constituency?
St Austell and Newquay. Cornwall.
In Cornwall. It's wonderful. Okay, next we have, is it Kanishka's next? Is Kanisha here? She's running a bit late. Okay. And is Ian Murray here? No. Okay. He's also running late. So your network's going to be early because everyone's running late. So start your networking, and then if there's time at the end, then you can hear from the MPs at the end. And do please feel free to talk to any of the speakers, and enjoy your evening. Thank you very much.
Okay. Can I get some? Okay, fantastic. Okay, we've got a few more superb speakers for you this evening. My name's Chris. I am one of the policy directors at Meta. Really happy to be here talking about AI and open source with all of you. If you haven't done the open source activation outside, I'm doing a British accent now, Casey. Maybe it works. then do take a look at that and hear a bit more about how our technology is available to people for free, whether you're running a small business, a big business, whether you're working in a government department. All of these areas can benefit enormously from AI. But what I want to do is just invite a couple of parliamentarians to speak to us, and I will give the floor first to Nataly, please.
Thank you. Hi, thank you for having me at this very unexpected first-time speech at Labour Party conference, because Ibrahim has asked me to, and that's the kind of guy he is. If he asks you to jump, you say how high, because he is one of the good ones. So I just wanted to say that I hope you are having a good conference. For those of you that don't know me, I am the Member of Parliament for Bolsover. I was elected last July. The reason I was elected is because my husband kept saying to me, I don't really want you to be an MP, you're going to get loads of abuse, it's going to be really difficult, you're going to be away from us. And I said, the last Labour government made a huge difference on my life. When I was a young teenage parent in very difficult circumstances, the state wrapped their arms around me. We had a Labour government that meant that I could send my children to a Sure Start nursery, I could have a minimum wage job, and I could be the first in my family to go to university. Since then, things have got worse for young people. It has got more difficult to have somewhere safe to live. It has become more difficult to get a job that's meaningful and feel like you have hope for the future. I have been coming to these conferences, but this is my 14th year, and this is my best one so far, because we have fought really hard, and we are in government. And today we have announced the Youth Guarantee. And it means that when people have been let down for so long, our young people that are struggling in a way that they never have before, we've said that the state is going to wrap its arms around you once again and make sure that you're looked after. I only found out today that there are thousands of libraries in our primary schools in one of the richest countries in the world, thousands of primary schools that do not have libraries. We're going to make a difference. We're going to change that, because it makes a big difference to your opportunities as a child and your life chances if you can have access to books. That surely should be a basic right. It's taken a Labour government that we have fought hard for to deliver that change in our communities. Today feels like a very good day to be a Labour Party member with a Labour government when we are in power. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Nataly. And then I would also just like to introduce another speaker. So Kanishka, been a leading voice for technology in Parliament since you entered Parliament, and now really thrilled that you've been elevated to ministerial position in DSIT. So please, surprise.
Thanks, Chris. One thing I should carry in mind for future events is Natalie Feast is an incredible force for good, and following her is never a good idea. But can I just say, as a starting point, that I'm conscious very deeply that in the Labour movement, so many of us who were elected last year were elected because we stood on the shoulders of giants who came before us, those who were able to change the Labour Party fundamentally for good. Many of them across here in the conference hall, and Jonathan played a huge role in that, as well as did so many other people in this room. But also that we remain deeply a collective movement, and I'm grateful that I'm joined by colleagues, Noah and others in from the PLP here. And one thing we share very deeply is the sense that the collective force that we have together is vastly greater than the sum of our individual parts. That holds true also for SMEs in our communities, because if I think about the contribution of the deli that I have luncheon every week in Barry Island, and the businesses in Clatwood Major that keep a sense of community going through a deeply historic community in Ogmore by Sea, a remote community in the rural part of the Vale of Glamorgan, but one which is anchored in the post office and the grocery shop. I know very deeply what I think many of us identify with SME for Labour, which is that the contribution of SMEs across this country has been remarkable, not just in its economics, but in its community impact. And it is true also of the particular organisation supporting this event, because Ibrahim has anchored fundraisers for Labour candidates over the years. He has brought many of us together who historically would have deeply worried about the possibility of raising enough money to get leaflets out to the doors that we have to knock to get elected. And so Ibrahim, in your contribution too, I'm conscious that we are standing very much on the foundations of your effort as well. I say all of that because it also applies to the fundamental focus and I think the Secretary of State have in the brief in technology. As the AI and Online Safety Minister, I have a fundamental focus that where we go on both of those fronts has to be fundamentally about making technology real and salient for people across this country. And it is only in tying the interests of frontier innovation and the interests of British people across this country in public services and in private economy that we're able to build a collective picture of what Britain can be together for the future. And that to me is the central political fight of our time. A fight between those who want to confect both a sense of grievance and a fake mythology of what was, and those across the labour movement who believe in a sense of progressive dynamism for what the future can be. And so I'm very grateful that you're all a fundamental part of shaping that future. I hope you enjoy the evening tonight. There's lots more to come. I'm conscious there'll be dance floors starting off anytime very soon across parts of the conference. But for now, please have a lovely time, and can I just say how grateful I am that you're all a part of this movement that we're building together. Thanks very much.